Good day, everyone, and welcome to another epic episode. Welcome to Newsaluji, a political media channel that talks about politics. I'm your host, Sabulwa Gazuma Umshuluzi, and I say you're welcome to today's political talk. So, Fikile Mbalula, the ANC Secretary General, was in Free State, right? A memorial lecture delivered by Fikile Mbalula, a Secretary General of the ANC, on the life of Andrew Mukete Mwidi Blangeni, Buikutlong Community Hall, Bethlehem, Free State. This is what the SG of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, has posted. So, very interestingly, Fikile Mbalula finally gets his chance, because every chance that Fikile Mbalula gets, he campaigns. He sees himself as the next ANC president officially. And as he is busy doing these lectures in different provinces, in a way, this is what I feel. In a way, this is what I see, in fact, that Fikile Mbalula is campaigning while he is campaigning others, but he is campaigning for himself. He will come there and talk to the ANC members, telling them that they must not speak now about the 2027 leadership that is coming, and say that they must pause that. Until when, Mr. Mbax? Because looking at the time is going. Seems like you are just preparing the field for yourself. And as the video you've seen, that Fikile Mbalula was now given his endorsement by the Free State ANC members as they were singing, pointing at him. That meant something. All eyes on me, all eyes on him. And you will tell that the man was so very happy, seeing the support, seeing the endorsement, seeing just the ANC members supporting him, full support, and they were ready for him and they are behind him. So I'm telling you, Fikile Mbalula comes now and speak a lot of things to say that no, but we don't want to see all the people coming to be president here in the ANC. It must be given to the younger generation, not the old.
I'm two years and a half elected SG, and people already want me to be president. That's a great achievement. I've not even finished my term, you know. I've not even halfway, because halfway it will be in August. And then they should be talking about Paul. That should be the man who should be under pressure, because he's on the doorstep, you know, he's knocking.
It's very funny, because the same thing that Fikile Mbalula is echoing is the same calls that have been made by the ANC Youth League, Colin Malachi. I was saying that the old must rest.
You can't go to parliament and pass a law that when you turn 65 years, you are a pensioner. But the same person who's passing the law is a pensioner themselves. How do have a parliament of people who are over 65 years, but they call themselves members of parliament, councillors, legislature, everywhere else? All those who are above 65 years must leave and allow the youth to lead. How khonal? How khonal? How khonal? They must take care of their grandkids and their kids and allow the youth who the ANC has empowered and educated to take over the country. The country can no longer be led by pensioners. The last pensioner who has led the country in this country is President Ramaphosa. He is the last pensioner. After him, there is no pensioner who will be elected to be a president of South Africa. Ramaphosa is the last pensioner. And President Ramaphosa is the last pensioner. He must tell his peers that Ratamaya no. Aboje wo mantashe le bo Paul Mashatile ore nako ifedile. Iskadi sabo siphelile sibabhatalile for 1994. We paid them from 94 until now. 31 years we've been paying them. We can no longer pay them. Sikoloto sifedile. The debts are closed. The youth must take over. Umqimbi uphelile abantu abadala. Kungena wethu manje. We want to take responsibility of our own future. We can't afford anymore to be led by people who are dying. We must be led by those who know that they must protect everything in their power and their future.
I like it. I remember Mbuyiseni said that in parliament, it smells rap because a lot of people there are old, and when now there are these meetings assembled there in parliament, some of these people, they just snooze off, they sleep because of old age. So the funny thing now about this is that when Mbalula and Colin Malachi calls for a younger president, the younger leadership, the big question now remains is, will the ANC leaders and the parliamentarian agree to this, to say that let us have, because I believe this is not a one-man's decision. It is something that it has to be decided by the collective of the ANC. I don't think that those old Matalas will agree to this, these old Greens will agree to this, because this will mean that for some of them, they will lose just position. And we know that how the ANC comrades, they will just hold on to power until the grave knocks. They don't want to leave that position no matter what you can do, no matter what you can say. So now the big question that is left is, will Colin Malachi's bid and Mbalula's plan of becoming the next president come to pass? Because hey, these two, they are so busy there in the African National Congress. And it was so very funny because Fikile Mbalula now is using this stance to demote others and to just disfavor them, of saying that the likes of Petrus Mutsipe, who was reported that he can be a potential candidate, and Fikile Mbalula says that no, he must first start on the ground, right? And Fikile Mbalula, let me tell you something, he's on the ground every time. He has positioned the ground, he has positioned the members of the African National Congress to say that he is their next leader. And what is so fun is that many of them, most of them, they start now to believe on him. That is why you heard them singing, pointing right to him.
You cannot lose power to an old man and say Zuma is the future. How can the old be the future? Because the future is right in front of me here. You are the future of this country. You are leading now, and we can never be led by an old man who misled us during his time and never gave us jobs and says he can give us jobs now. Now he says he will give you land. Why didn't he give you land when he was a president of South Africa, when he was a deputy president of South Africa? We must stop listening to simple lies. The youth at universities, you cannot allow to be led by the old. The old must retire and the new must emerge and take over South Africa.
So what is happening here? You know what is so funny and interesting? I found that Julius Malema also echoes the same thing of saying that the old must just rest now. So these calls are coming left, right, center, up, down, in every corner of saying let the old rest now. But the big question that is remaining is, does the old now acknowledge that they need to rest? No. Yes, they are pensioners, but does that now knock in their head of saying that they agree to this and say that they will give to the younger generation? Because the famous saying that says that the old cannot plan for the future because they won't be there. So what is happening here? Fikile Mbalula now took a swipe. As you know what he normally do, he took a swipe to the newly formed MK party. ANC is not a fashion, but it is standing. That's what Mbak said. Is that these new things, they die every day, and they are forever calling for press conferences. It is very hard that they always call for press conferences and even exchange them. A person who was elected as a chair doesn't finish their term and they already swiped from the position. He is saying Kiyoko, that is stand still, not moving, is just staring at them. The ANC has been prayed for by God. Do not follow those people who doesn't have the future. So that is what Mbalula said, calling the MKP Kuyoko. I don't know what that means. Maybe if you know what this word means, you can leave it on the section below so that we understand what Mbax was trying to say there. But he's saying that the MK party is not a viable machine because they always exchange people who are given position there in the MK party. Seems like it is not standing according to Mbax. But now, what was interesting is that Fikile Mbalula, can it happen that he will win this one? He will just dethrone a potential which is Paul Mashatile. So I mean, Cyril Ramaphosa is already 72 years, and we know that his term is coming to pass. This is the last term that he's doing. Cyril Ramaphosa, he's not coming back. Just there, be rest assured. So Mashatile, Paul Mashatile, who is the deputy president, is 63 years old, and Fikile Mbalula himself is 54 years old, and Patrice Motsepe, the one that Fikile was talking against, 63 years old, and Julius Malema, who is also calling for the younger president, he is 44 years old. So will that come to pass? Will SAC, the new president, the younger president, the fresh president, the president that will be there in the future, will Fikile Mbalula cut it now? Will Fikile Mbalula win the hearts of the people, as seems like he is ready to contest against Paul Mashatile? Will Paul Mashatile up his game and take on Mbax on becoming the ANC's next president? What is your take concerning this matter? Please leave your comment on the section below and let me hear what is in your mind. And please don't forget you can subscribe in this YouTube channel. Remember that you're supporting us and you don't pay anything. It is free of charge like that. Until we meet on the next video, as we're looking forward for 2027, and we'll be ready when it comes. And I'm out.